Hey guys, AP here. I'm going to go over my shipping method for you guys. Basically, I use a stacking and a clock method that I came up with many moons ago, and I found that it works out really well. It basically utilizes time as well as getting the most amount of credits that you can in a shipping cycle. I don't use offload or anything like that. And this method isn't really the best on Hydro, but as the end game approaches and max warplanes are in place, this shipping method won't cost that much in hydrogen. It takes me about 15 minutes to complete it right now. But with that being said, I think once you have max warplanes in there, it'll drop significantly, like maybe even down to 5 minutes a cycle or less. So anyways, I'll explain what I use. So I use two loading planets. I have one loading planet here. This is the first loading planet, also known as my stacking planet. I'll go over that later. And I use a second loading planet here, which this is where I distribute out all my non-connected shipments into a clockwise or counterclockwise circular motion for distributing those. So what I mean is I'll bring all non-connected shipments to this guy, then I'll sort them on individually on different transports, and then I'll place those shipments either one before or one after the destination, and then move them around in either a clockwise or counterclockwise direction. So I've already got my transports in position, and then I'll just kind of quickly explain what I do. The other thing that I want to show you guys is that everything around this clock basically has the name trade in it. So I mean, I like to have my things labeled as easy as possible for me, so when I'm sorting or when I'm distributing, it's almost like second nature. There's really no thought to it. You could be, New Year's Eve, which it is actually tonight. You could get lit. You could be, 2 sheets to the wind and still be able to load your transports or distribute it around pretty easy. So I have them all set up as trade. The reason I did that is because unfortunately you cannot get away from the alphabeticalness of the trade station in the name on these trade stations. So even if you're to, like I have this trade station named Trade 7, if I was to take the Trade 7 and put any other name in there, it would still come up as trade station. So then when you go to your list and you try and organize either by destination or distance, it is still going to come up as trade station and then the name. So that kind of, I don't know, I just put everything else as trade. As you can see, it's kind of goes like trade 2, 3, 6, and I have them around set up based on the distance, and so it's easy to organize when I distribute out. You'll also note that my loading planets here, or the main planets, they're all capitalized. So like this one here, this is known as AP5, it's all capitalized. I also have my loading planet number 1, it's all capitalized. And then this guy over here, I also have as capitalized. This is kind of like a mini loading planet, but and the reason I capitalize them is just so that when I'm going through the list, I can tell right away where I need things to go or what I need to do with them. Every other planet or destination is going to be lowercase. Other people use stars. I do it this way. Let's just get these guys working. Slackers, and we'll get on to the shipping. So there is also a method where you just don't load your transports and then away you go. if you can utilize your timing with your transports, you can make your method quicker. At least that's what I find. So what I mean by that is I don't have a transport up here ready to collect, and so what I'll use is I'll get this guy going first, and here, let's just get the proper distance going here. So I'll just I can grab everything basically that's going to go to there without even thinking about it. This guy's name's Adam, so if there was a shipment in there that was named Adam, I can just go right from the top, and I could go all the way down, and because it's alphabetical, the last one in the list would have been Adam's, and I wouldn't picked it up because I want to leave those those shipments so that the drone can just pick them up. So, like for instance here, when I get to this one, I'm going to leave all of the non-connected ones because my loading planet is Titleist up there, which is this guy, and I'm going to bring all shipments to here first. When I go to my list, I just scroll past Titleist, and then I'll just click. And then I'll send him to the next destination. Get back over to this guy because he takes a little bit of time. Unload, and then I'll go over there. Now I wouldn't have to do this if I had another transport, which I do, but it's currently in a white star, so that's no problem. So same thing here. Go past, because Titleist is my main thing there, I'm going to grab all connected ones and leave all the non-connected ones, which is all the trades. And I can just grab and go. And then I'll send them just to the end of the hub here. So the reason why I send them not to the planet and to the hub is it just helps me be able to redistribute the non-connected shipments from the loading planet here down to there. So you'll see that here in a second. So with these guys here, because they have actually no, let's hold up on that. I'll just get this guy going because this is the next point in it. Grab all connected shipments, send him to there as well to make that easier for distributing. And then you'll notice that this guy here I actually have shipment computer on, and then my other boost and bonuses, and I'll be using him later. But to utilize the time and so that I don't have to really sort, I hate sorting, and I don't really have to do much sorting in this method. And by using this guy here, I'll just send him to these planets here. Select that waypoint there just before, or the warplane. You got to do this one pretty quick. I mean, I've got too many planets, to be honest, and not enough warplanes, but now he's going to go around and pick up all those non-connected ones. And then I'll just go here and I'll pick up all the connected ones. I don't really care about the moons. They're only like 16 long, or 16 credits. You get nothing from them. So from here, I'll just pick up everything. Maybe there'll be an Adams at the end. There wasn't, so that worked out just fine. I don't really have to think about it. And we'll get back to these guys. So this guy with the shipping computer on him, he's not going to go to these planets, or to these guys here. So that's why I pick up everything and then I redistribute them. So here I'll pick everything up except anything that says Titleist. However, there's no Titleist in the name. And what I mean is that's the name of this loading planet. So I don't want to bring anything to a loading planet. This planet here was named Adam, so I would pick up every shipment from these two except those labeled Adams. Just like I'll pick up every shipment from these two if the transports will hold it. Look at that. None of them are named Titleist in this. And then just bring them down. And you can see these guys I'm actually bringing to the loading planet because they actually have non-connected shipments, all these trades that I need to sort. And like I mentioned before, I hate sorting. I just want to get this over and done with. And yeah, the least amount of time you can spend on shipping, the better. So this guy over here, I'll drop everything off, and then I'll start loading all of the non-connected. Get rid of that Titleist there. I think I saw another Titleist, yeah. And I'll bring some of these guys over here. And then I'll just bring him over to there. So now I got him going there. This guy here, that's the one that had the shipping computer. So now I'll just cancel all the waypoints. And because the last waypoint was there, now I can just select there and done. And I didn't have to think about anything there. I just had him working for me. Go back to this guy, and I can pick everything up except those labeled Titleist, because he's going up to here. But like I said, bring him to this hub just so life is easier with sorting. So eventually I should have 3 guys on this warplane here, and then I should have 2 guys at this loading planet number 1. And you can see he's going to be on his way. So we'll select these guys here just to, and I only have those 2 there to make things easier. So now I'll get rid of all connected ones. And you can see I can, because it's alphabeticalized, I can just start clicking. And it goes quick. And then I can collect all non-connected ones, bring them down to the loading planet number 2 there. This guy here, I'll do the same thing, get rid of all these. Just grab any that I accidentally got off there, and bring them over. And then now, I'll bring these guys up here, and I'll put those there. And once this is done, I'm going to leave 1 guy here, and he's going to be the guy that has the shipment drone on it. So these other 2 here, I'm going to just unload, so it's easier for me over at my clock planet there, my loading planet number 2. This guy only has 9 of 27, so I'm going to load him up. This is the guy with the shipment drone, yeah. I'll load him up, and that's just going to allow me to unload all the shipments off of the other guy there too. So grab him, and the least amount of shipments that you have down over here is going to make your life a lot easier in sorting. Okay, so while this guy is coming, I'll just explain what I'm going to do here. So unload all these. All these transports here, they only have non-connected shipments to them now. So I just can unload them all and then get to sorting while that other guy is getting there. Okay, so in this method, it's very, it's not important, but it makes life easier if the second one here has this recall on it. And it would be different for you guys, but the way that the planets and more importantly the distance is set up in this, what I do is that second transport there from the end, I'll actually teleport down to this guy, and then I'll recall back to here just to speed time up. It's basically the same amount of cost in hydro, but it's all about the time here. I'm not really worried about the hydro. And then that's it. So let's get on to sorting here. So let me explain this. So I'll go through each transport here, and because I like to use this alphabeticalness, or in this case I'm using the trades. I have them labeled trade 1 through to trade 7. So the first one I can just grab anything that says 7, I'll move down the line and grab anything that says 6, and then I'll move down the line. Because 5 is actually this guy here, and it's the first one, you have to leave the shipments for it on either one before or one after. In this case, it's on here. So I don't pick up anything that's labeled 5, so I'll go to 4, and then 3, and then 2. We'll get rid of these first, and then scroll down to 2. And then get rid of all these guys. As you can see, I only have a max of 72, so I'll still have some in there. But usually, 9 out of 10 times, when I get here, I can grab all the 1s. And then I can unload all of the rest. Usually. In this case, I have 1, 2, 3, 3 more. And it just happens sometimes. It's how it's populated. But I can just go back through the line, grab some 7s here. I had more than enough there. I only had to get rid of 3, so quickly jump back to that guy. Get rid of those. And grab the 1 here. And because I've gone through all of them, and I guess out of habit or familiarity, I'm looking forward to see if there was any left. But I've gone through all the transports, and I know that there's no trade 1s left, so I can actually just get him out of the line and start cleaning this up. So same thing with this, all the 7s are gone, so his destination is down there where the 10 is. So because I do this in a counterclockwise, I send it 1 destination before it. Here's the 6s. I'll just grab all the 6s. I know that the 6s are there, so on counterclockwise, I do 1 before it. I'll fire them down there and I'll teleport them. Then I'll go to the next guy, be the 4s. Always doing 1 before, go to the 3s here. And go to the 2s. And we already sent the 1s off a while ago, so while all these guys are moving, I'll just unload these on those planets there. I'll now switch the destination to alphabetical. Now, this loading planet is known as AP5, or AP5, yeah. So I'm going to collect all shipments except those labeled AP5. So I can, because I have it set as the first one, I'll just scroll past that and then I'll just pick up anything that's after it, until you get to the trade 2s or those non-connected shipments. And then I'll just recall him back. Send him back to the loading planet. And eventually he's going to go back to the loading planet number 1 there. The stacking planet. And then I'll let the drone do his thing. In fact, right now is about the time where I would select over here and get the drone going. Now notice I haven't done my module, time modulator yet. I do that usually once everything is back at the loading planet number 2. So yeah, like you can see here, I just got rid of all those shipments, grab the first 2 there, and then I can now just go all the way until I reach connected or non-connected shipments there, and then send them back. Also, to utilize time, I try and find this guy here first, the one that has the trade burst and boost, shipment computer, and rush ready to go, because if I get him moving first or sooner, then I can cut down on the shipping time. The other ones are just going to be unloading, so it doesn't take much time or effort to deal with them. But that guy, you want to get going sooner. And there we go. So now all these guys are back here. Just go back up to this guy, ensure that we're at full capacity so that shipment drone can get going. And so now I will want to move all connected shipments from loading planet here up over to loading planet 1 over here. So because I have everything alphabeticalized, I only have to get rid of anything that's labeled Titleist or ping upper or down. And then I can just grab everything that is not labeled those and then just bring them up. And the reason why I leave the ping uppers and lowers there and then grab everything else is because I'm going to use this guy that has the shipment computer on him and get him working, because you still got a couple other non-connected planets up here. And eventually, when you're at endgame, I think you can have 12 lanes or something like that. Two of your planets are basically not going to have lanes to them. So this 15-minute thing that I have going on here, with I think I have 7 non-connected, will drop down to 2. So that means that the timing on this is going to just drop and drop from 15 probably down to 5 minutes or so. So yeah, I just got rid of the ping there, and the rest I can just scoot on over. And I'm doing this a little slower, explaining it to you guys. So you can see that guy there, activate the boost, the burst just beforehand, and then he's going to go on his little path, which is down to ping lower and ping upper. Yeah, you'll notice that most or all of my stuff is named after golf. I'm a pretty heavy golfer and I like that stuff, so that's the reason for those names. So let's now activate this time modulator. And you can see I had 53 minutes on it, which is pretty decent. I think I started this video when there was about 12 hours and something, so that means I'm halfway into my shipping cycle. So let's unload some guys here, get this back up to 80, grab that guy, and we'll get him going on the clock now. So as you can see, I'm now going around my clock planet, or loading planet number 2, in a counterclockwise direction. This will ensure that all of those shipments get the shipment computer on them. And then with that rush, I mean, you watch that guy, he just goes. And away you go. And then now I can just come up here. I got one last thing is to grab from this guy. Bring all the connected ones, because I want to take max advantage of the drone on the stacking planet. And you can see it, like, if you don't pay attention, or if you get caught talking or whatever, that drone picks those up super fast. And you really want to keep that up at 80 at all times. So that way when the drone picks up shipments, he's got the max load, and then you get your bonus for sure. Yeah, let's see what this guy's going to grab. So yeah, he was over what the thing was there, which means he's picking up max shipments now. So as this guy goes around, you'll notice that I select this loading planet number 2 here, and it still has shipments going to these other non-connected ones. So I'll just send them on the same path. I'm sure if I click here too, on this loading planet 1, there's still some going to there as well. And I know there's some, I think there's still some ping upper and lowers that need to be done here. If not, then we're going to be done pretty quick. Yeah, that's just the one. So we'll get him off first. Oh, there you go. There, all those are done. the only thing left to do, if I had another transport, is this guy over here has was the only one I didn't go to, because in the clock method you want it all going to one destination before or after. But if whatever planet is being used as the loading planet, the shipments aren't, you're not going to be able to get them to it. You can, but it's a waste of hydrogen, and you don't really need to be honest. You can just bring them all to here, and all of the other planets will have those shipments to it. So now that it's done there, I just use the beam, and I get him going. I think it only takes me about 3 times to do it. And then I'll unload those. And I'll unload those. Save some hydro here, bring this guy back up. And then you'll notice that there's still some shipments here. And what I have to do is a reverse some direction. So basically I got to go clockwise. But what I'll do is I'll just drop these off first. And I think there was oh, here. We can use our destination thing to our advantage here. There it is. Okay, so I'll just bring him here, do the reverse of it, and done. And that is my shipping method, using a stacking and a clock method to it. So yeah, because I do this all the time, this usually takes me about 15 minutes, give or take a minute. And I anticipate that this will drop significantly once I get max warp lanes, because eventually all these other planets here will just be connected, and the only I'll only have the one loading planet, and then I'll have 2 other planets to go to. I'll still have my transports, which or not transports, my trade stations, which won't be connected. So I guess essentially it'll be 2 planets and 3 trade stations that I'll do that method with, and that means that out of this right here I'll be dropping 1, 2 planets right off the bat. So I don't think it'll be taking that much time. So I hope you guys got that. If you have any questions, just fire away. I have no problem helping you or anyone else out with your system. And yeah, I'll do another video when I'm actually at endgame here, just to show you the difference on how things go. There's one other thing that I wanted to mention, that if you are looking for total max credits, you'll notice that I am using the stacking method here, and these shipments here, they're going to get the bonus only from the drone. They're not going to collect a shipment computer bonus, and you could do a shipment computer bonus. So basically all the shipments that I brought to here, if I was to do a route that kind of looks like this, where I would select the hub, then come back to the planet, then select this hub, and then quickly fire off all of the destinations, the moons, as fast as possible. And then as that guy gets to, you got to be quick about it, but as he gets to back to this hub here, you can cancel all your waypoints. He'll end up there, and then you can just send him to the loading planet. So what that means is, when you those shipments are going to have the shipment computer bonus on it. So now you're going to be getting that extra 15 or 20 or 30% or whatever level your shipment computer is at. And you're not, it's just a simple way of taking all of those shipments that were here, applying the bonus, stopping them at this hub here, and then sending them over to this stacking planet, and then letting the drone do its thing. Yeah, I forgot to grab shipments from here too. That's okay. Drop those off. Get that drone working again. And yeah, doing that extra shipment computer movement, it takes about adds about an extra 5 minutes onto your shipping time. So I mean, going from 15 to 20 minutes now, and I ship twice a day, so now I'm up to going from a half hour to 40 minutes. You know, I got a 2-year-old, and I got a spouse that doesn't really like it that I'm on this game as much as I am, so I try and cut down cut down the time as much as possible, so you know I don't piss her off, and of course attend to my son when he's got to be doing things. So yeah, I hope that helps explain. And like I said, if you have any questions, just ask me. And if you actually want help with your system, I have no problem doing up a plan for you. Kind of just take a screenshot of your system, go into Paint, do a layout for you, and then I'll do a step-by-step process on how I think things should go for you. And then, of course, as you do the new process, within, I would say, a week, you're going to just have it down where it's going to be very familiar, and you'll see the time cutting down. So yeah, thanks again, guys. Hope that helped, and Happy New Year. Yeah, it's New Year's Eve, 2018, into 2019. We'll talk to you later.